Hey guys, thanks for watching. I'm really excited because today we are starting a short series about LinkedIn. Some tips and tricks, and we'll answer your questions. You're watching WebBeat TV. So here with me to truly explain LinkedIn is Mike Merrill, the president of the Dallas Social Media Club. Now, Mike, I have to admit, I am not a very avid LinkedIn user. I have a profile, but that's about it. That's where it ends. But you say people should be using LinkedIn a lot more, right?
I absolutely think it's not just a job search site. It is part of your overall web presence. I spoke to two people today, and they told me they weren't on LinkedIn. I was like, well, how in the world could you be looking for a job and not be on LinkedIn?
Right.
Right. So I think it's very important to have a completed LinkedIn profile and be visible via the web, via search. And with 86% of recruiters using LinkedIn today, it's critical. But
not only if you're looking for a job, right? I mean, there's so many other things that you can be doing.
Absolutely. And I think that's the common misconception. That's why it's such an underappreciated site. It's also about credibility, right? By having your complete resume online, as well as all the added features that LinkedIn provides, you can provide so much more detail about yourself.
Sure.
Including, what are the groups you're interested in? What other topics are of interest to you in terms of, do you like social media? Do you like, this Republican Party or this Democratic Party, et cetera? There's just so much more people can learn about you from that tool. And it's not just a static website, right? There's some key features that a lot of people just aren't taking advantage of.
What are those key features?
Well, so I tell people there's two things that they're missing out. One is the power of the status update, and second is the search.
Okay,
right?
Power of the status update.
Right, so LinkedIn launched this tool after Facebook and Twitter started taking off. Right, and the power of this is it's when I log into LinkedIn, my homepage right down the middle is status updates from everyone in my network. But most people forget to make an update there on a regular basis. The key there is you want to share helpful information, something that helps portray what you're about, what your interests are, what you do for a living, or even your personal interests. But more importantly, you think about when someone asks you for a realtor. Right, we probably, when we bought our first house 5 or 10 years ago, we know who the realtor is, but we can't find them on email or Twitter, et cetera.
Sure, yeah.
Someone asked, like, well, if they were only top of mind, I could remember them. So that's the power of the status updates. I advise people make an update at least once or twice a day with helpful information, share an event you're going to, so that when someone asks, you're top of mind. And when they see your name, they see right next to it what it is you do if you fill out the right information.
So are you telling me that besides from Twitter and Facebook and Google Plus, now I also have to update my LinkedIn status every day?
Luckily, there are easy ways to do that.
Yeah.
Once you add Twitter to your LinkedIn profile, you can just use #LI from Twitter and it automatically cross-posts it.
All right. Now let's take a look at some LinkedIn facts that I found. First of all, there are about 1 million new users every 10 days, which is insane if you think about it. Then there's 74% of LinkedIn users have a college degree or more, so people are pretty well educated. And this is pretty interesting. 98,425 feet, I think, is the height of a hypothetical stack of business cards if you would represent all 120 million LinkedIn members. So we're talking about a giant network here.
Well, and it's global too, right? And if you look where the growth is coming from, a lot of it's as a result of the economy, but they've actually demonstrated they can grow revenue with this product.
So what are the benefits of a paid membership versus a free account?
Well, multiple. One is I get much more search results when I'm doing search. So instead of the 100 or so that you get as a free member, I actually can see many more results. So it helps in that search process. The other is there's an ability to flag your profile as being an open networker. So basically it's a little round symbol that basically tells someone that you'll accept all LinkedIn requests.
Okay.
Which is important if you're trying to grow your network, especially if you're in sales or you sell a product or you're doing partnerships.
Yeah.
You want people to know that you'll accept these requests.
Because I'm sure that's not an option, or that's not a good option for everyone out there, right?
Correct. I mean, I think depending on what you do, I tell people is like define it as what you do. Right? I think the tool can provide value, especially if you're trying to drive awareness of your business, or if you're a sales guy trying to sell a product, or what most people think about is looking for a job.
Yeah.
Right. There is actually an employment package now that you can pay for that gives you some new features. if you're specifically looking for a job, it basically puts a little symbol on your profile that says, it's a little suitcase that says, I'm looking for a job.
So how much does this little suitcase cost?
If I recall, it's $19 a month, but it provides some extra features allowing you to connect to people if you don't know them.
Okay.
So, it's the value of LinkedIn is having a bigger network. So if you want to connect to someone, you don't have to know their email address, right? That's the whole value of LinkedIn is. So I tell a lot of people, the other advice I give getting started is join 50 groups, join 25 of the largest groups, and join 25 groups in your industry. So when you want to connect with someone, either locally or in your industry, most likely they're in one of these groups.
That's interesting.
Right,
Okay.
It's another area that people don't really take advantage of.
Groups.
Groups.
All right. Now let's take a look at a viewer's question because we received a bunch of questions. Let's see. This one actually came from Turkey over Twitter, and this is the question everybody has.
Yep.
Can I really find a job with LinkedIn?
LinkedIn is a very, very powerful tool to identify the type of job you're looking for. So a couple of things to consider. Say, for example, I want to work at Apple, right? I can go into LinkedIn and search for the company profile for Apple. It will show everyone who currently work there, and I can actually change the setting for people that formerly worked there. So now I can find out if there's anyone on my network has worked there and try to connect to people within Apple. Because in today's economy, just going to a website and applying for a job provides no value because they get so many applicants, they're never going to get through the system.
Right.
So you really need an internal referral. The second thing is, say, for example, I want a director of marketing job at Apple. What I would do is go look at all the people who have a director of marketing job at Apple and look at their pedigree. What does their resume look like?
Yeah.
What's their experience? So, for example, if they have 12 years experience in their director and you have 2 years out of college, most likely you're not going to be qualified to get that job.
Right. So you can
Right.
really get a feel of
Absolutely.
what you need, or what the qualifications kind of would
and
be.
also what the pedigree is. So, for example, you look at one of the examples I always talk about is some of these companies that are growing fast, like Google and Facebook. You look at the pedigree of a lot of the people that work there, Stanford, Harvard,
Yeah.
a lot of Ivy League schools. If that's the case for a lot of these, and I'm not saying you can't pursue it, because everyone's got a dream and you work hard, you can do anything.
Sure.
But just know the battle before you're going in. If you know that's the battle, instead of trying to get an internal referral, find out who in your network is a Harvard alum and have them make an introduction.
So smart. I like that. Yeah. So you can really use LinkedIn in a lot of different ways than I even thought of.
Well, and it's the power of the connection, right? It's the six that all, you think about the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. It's what's important is not that I know you, it's who you know.
Right.
Right? So I can peek into your connections, right? And leverage that for, some sort of personal gain, whether it's an introduction, whether it's, hey, I'd like this person to come speak at my event for free, whether it's, I need a supplier, et cetera.
Right. Now let's take a look at another of your questions. How do you connect with the right people to help your business grow?
Well, I think this is similar to looking for a job or being a sales guy. So the big thing is identifying everyone in your network that can help you, right? So if I'm say for example, I'm a home improvement store. Think of all of the related businesses to home improvement. So not only do I go to a Home Depot to buy the supplies, but think of all of the people that would use those supplies. So the guy who installs cabinets, the plumber, et cetera.
Right.
All of these people are part of that network. And you want to be connected to them so when someone has a specific need, you can serve that need. So, for example, if I'm a small business, for example, I see a lot of small businesses do this really well. They build their own referral network using LinkedIn, and they refer each other, whether it's via email or via LinkedIn, refer each other to different businesses in their referral network.
Okay.
And some of those referral networks are paid referral networks. The other thing is, if you're a business, you want to use LinkedIn also to post updates. So we talked earlier about the status update.
Right.
So a lot of businesses use events to attract people or leads into their business, especially in the professional side, accounting, finance, even IT. They use events as a lead generator. LinkedIn is a very powerful platform for events. Very similar to Facebook. When I say I'm attending an event, it signals that to all of my network.
Right.
Right, and it shows up in that status feed. So I know Palpina is an important person, and if she's going to the event, I should probably go to the event.
All those are your words.
I think we're getting the time dance over here.
Was it the 5-minute dance? Is that the 10-minute dance? Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, let's real quick go to the steps to get started.
Yeah, so basically what I tell people is make sure to get your profile to 100%, right? Because when you're at 100%, you actually show up higher in search results.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't realize that. So that's the first step is, it is your resume, but your resume is typically limited to 1 or 2 pages. Completely fill it out, because with 86% of recruiters using LinkedIn, you want all those target keywords to be in your profile. So when they do a search, they can find you. So that's my number one advice is just fill it out and log in once a day.
Okay. Well, thank you. I think we're out of time for today, but where can people find you? On Twitter, Facebook?
Yeah, Twitter, Mike D. Merrill. You can find my website at mikemerrill.com. And I'm pretty much everywhere. And of course, send me a LinkedIn request as well.
All right, and we are not done yet. We will continue this conversation in part 2 and 3. So see you guys next time. Dewey.
All these apps just to make sure I'm kidding you.
I'm reporting, guys.
Alrighty, yeah?
Yeah.
You ready?